When Google first announced the Pixel 6, along with it, there was a feature that I thought was really, really cool. A feature called Magic Eraser that would apparently use the AI core amazingness of the Google Tensor chip to find objects and then remove them from your photos using, as I said, AI to make this process, one, very, very easy, and two, very, very effective. Well, a lot of people may not realize Samsung has a really, really similar feature. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4 and the Pixel 6a. And you may be thinking, Shane, those are very odd devices to be comparing. But we're not really comparing them. We're comparing the software. We're going to compare Samsung's version of Magic Eraser effectively to the Google Pixel version of Magic Eraser. And we're going to see which one does a better job of removing objects from a photo. So when I'm using the Z Fold 4, I'm going to be using the screen capturing thing, so it's going to look really nice and good to look at. When I'm doing the Pixel, I don't really have a great way to do that. And plugging wires and stuff, I don't feel like doing that. But at any rate, let's jump into the first photo here. And on your Samsung device, you're simply going to launch the Samsung Gallery. It may be by default in the Samsung folder. It may not be. It might be on your desktop already. But like I said, it is in the Gallery app. And this is the first photo that we're going to look at. And this is, I think, will be relatively easy. We're going to try to remove this. We're going to try to remove this stump from the picture. So to do this, what you have to do is you have to click on the little pin, and then it's kind of hidden away. You're then going to look for this button down here and go to Object Eraser. Now, what's really cool about the Magic Eraser on the Pixel is that you can just tap an object and it will use AI to find the edges, the borders of it, and remove it that way. Well, you can do the same thing with Samsung here. You can draw around it if you want, but you should be able to just touch it. And so there should go the stump. And here in just a moment, we're going to do that as well. And then this stuff there, yeah, see, it didn't know what to do with that. So we're going to start with just that bit, and it should get rid of it. Not the best job I've ever seen. So then maybe we can circle where the top part was. Okay, that's not so much of a great job. Let's go back and let's try doing this a bit more manual. I gotta tell you, this is actually doing worse than I expected it to do. Let's kind of circle it manually and erase it all at once. Yeah, again, you know, if maybe that's a bit close in the foreground to really be able to be a great example, but that's what we have. So we are going to say that we're done with that. And then we're going to go over to the Pixel and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go into Edit in Google Photos this time. Then we're going to go over to, I believe it's in Tools. Yeah, Tools, and then Magic Eraser. And then let's see what we can do here. It's finding suggestions, which sometimes takes a minute. It didn't find any. So then we're going to zoom in here on that stump. Let's see if we just tap it, what happens here. I think it literally just erased like where I'm the exact spot I'm touching, maybe, or maybe it's actually just not finding anything. I think that's what's happening. So we're going to have to actually paint the area and see what it does. And you see it actually left that stuff up there. So now we're left with, honestly, a pretty similar looking situation here. So let's done this. And let's save a copy, and then we'll see if we can look at both here on the computer. And so this, I believe, is the one that Samsung did. That's the one that Google did. I think that the Google one is a little bit better here, but they honestly, they both did much worse than I expected them to do. I thought, you know, we're filling in green grass, just put green grass everywhere. But yeah, I think Samsung definitely did worse there. So let's go now to the next image, which I actually thought was a pretty cool picture I took this morning. But like usual, take a cool picture of something in nature, and there's always ugly man-made stuff just sort of in the way. So what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to rectify that situation. So let's click on our pen. Let's click on that. Let's click on Object Eraser. We're going to try to get rid of these billboards. And actually, I'd like to be able to zoom in here. So can I actually, yeah, there we go. Let's zoom in. And let's tap the billboard and hit erase. Now, okay, zoomed in, you can see what's going on. But if you zoom out, I'm betting, yeah, you're not going to notice. You're not going to notice a thing there. Let's go over here and let's get this other billboard and let's erase it too. And then just for good measure, let's kind of get that area and let's do that. Let's erase that for good measure, and then let's done that. Let's zoom back out. Okay, so at that point, I would say that's a pretty convincing job it's done. Can we get rid of the fence down here at the bottom? Are we asking way too much? Yeah, see, it's going to try to grab everything. So then you would have to like maybe do this in chunks. Get rid of that. Get rid of that and that. I like that I can just kind of add to it. And then erase. Okay, that got pretty weird, but we're going to keep moving as if nothing's gone wrong. It seems like it's doing more than what I'm actually out, like what I'm actually circling as well. Like it's going a little bit far past it. Okay, that looks like that's about as good as it's going to get. But if we zoom back out and we say okay, how has that done? How does that look for you? Let's go ahead and save that. And then we're going to switch back to the Pixel. So it actually found as a suggestion the telephone pole, which I didn't even attempt on the other one. So let's go ahead and erase that. And that's actually quite convincing. It just looks like it's mostly gone. There's a little bit of it left there, but that's very good. Let's try just tapping. And it's not really grabbing the whole thing like I thought that it would. So let's just try circling it. And then it grabbed the edges and got rid of it. I thought you were able to just tap it. Maybe I'm just wrong. And that's gotten rid of that. Now we got to go through and do this again. All right, let's save this as it is and take a look at it now. Okay, so first here is the one that the Z Fold did, and if I was going to do this for real, I would have only gotten rid of the billboards. You can see where one used to be there and where one used to be here, but zoomed out, you're not going to notice that those billboards are missing. You're just going to think that's a normal looking picture. Now down here, this got a little too aggressive for my taste. You can see where the same texture is being duplicated, the same little bit of the image over and over and over. Probably a little bit more aggressive than I would have liked to have seen. And of course, the power line here, I didn't even attempt to get rid of. And then now we have the Pixel one. So as far as the billboards go, I think it did a better job on the billboards. Definitely a better job on the billboards. The power line being gone. You can see a bit of it there. But it's gone. A bit of it there. Pretty good job. Now down here on this fence, again, things got a little bit weird, but maybe this part here is pretty weird, pretty strange looking. That's pretty strange looking as well. So I think on the fence, they both did pretty poorly. But in terms of the other spots, the billboards, I might say that the Pixel one looks better, but you know what? Now that I'm looking at it from afar, watch that area there. That's more convincing on the Fold, I think, than it is there. There's obviously something square that used to be there. This one looks better. That's pretty similar. Okay, it's a toss-up for me on this one. They both did poorly down here. The Pixel got rid of the power line, which was cool, but the Samsung might look a bit better there. What about a picture of this butterfly? Let's go through the process one more time, and we should be able on Samsung to just simply click on it and erase it. I don't think it's going to get its legs. It's going to miss a little bit. Yeah, okay, missed a little bit over there. So let's actually go back. And let's be a bit more manual about it, and let's outline it nice and pretty, and hit erase. And that's done okay, but there's a weird artifacting thing that happens on Samsung. Sometimes it looks a little bit weird. You can see almost like repetitions of that same bit of image that just kind of ends up looking a little bit artificial and a little bit strange. But let's save that and let's do the same thing here. Let's quickly just circle it, which is an advantage here because that got it pretty quickly. It doesn't, the legs are still there. That's creepy looking, right? Let's see if we can get rid of them with some sort of swirls. And I mean, honestly, that's kind of a similar thing going on there. So let's done this and save a copy. And we've got the Samsung one here and the Google one there. I mean, they're pretty similar. I will say that here, we lost a little bit of this stick that we shouldn't have lost. You can clearly see where the butterfly's wing used to be. It got really funky down here as well. And then on the Samsung one, it's kind of blurry looking. The stick kind of got blurred a little bit as well. There's also a hard edge. Foreground stuff, not really what either one of these are for. Maybe the Pixel is a little bit better there, but I don't know. Maybe it's not. Let me know what you think about that one in the comments, because it's kind of a toss-up for me. Let's do one more very quickly. So this is one you might think would be easy because it's like one color, but it's not. This is one that I've tested before, and it is difficult. So let's do that, and it is auto-selecting it, which is very, very cool with one simple click, and you get sort of this awful shadowy thing left, and let's try to erase that. There is our end product, and I think that actually did reasonably well. You're circling it here, should grab it, and we should end up with a similar, oh, actually, that pretty well nailed that on the first one. We're gonna try to get rid of that area there too. So that was maybe a little bit better on the first step. So then you get the Samsung here and the Pixel there. They both have a blurry area, but I think it's a little bit smaller of a blurry area on the Pixel. So really, really similar. I think the Google Pixel version wins out a little bit there. And then last but not least, Samsung claims to be able to remove reflections. So if we go back into Edit and we go back into this, you should be able, apparently, under Object Eraser, to erase shadows and reflections. Let's try the reflections first. Will it do anything here? I'm almost skeptical. It reduced them. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely got rid of some reflections. It wasn't incredible, but that's pretty good. That's something that the Pixel simply apparently cannot do. And then let's see if we can maybe get rid of a shadow here. This would be an odd thing to do, but let's see if it can. No erasable shadows detected. So maybe there are some other scenarios where shadows will be detected. At the end of the day, though, I think that you kind of can draw your own conclusions here. I think that what Samsung has some advantages. I think the actual image quality that you get from the Pixel is probably a little bit better, although there is a third-party app called Retouch in the Play Store. It is for some amount of money, I cannot remember, that is probably better than both of them as far as I'm concerned. It's more manual of a process, but you get something like the stamping tool, the clone tool. I did a video comparing Magic Eraser to it. I'll try to link it in the description. You can kind of compare them 3 ways in that regard. So I'm probably going to stick with Retouch. In terms of the automatic ones, probably Magic Eraser is a hair better. And then, of course, Samsung, they're in last place. But again, not terrible. These things can't actually work magic. They're not actually magic. They can only possibly do so much. So guys, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.